Thomas never got tired of seeing the same places along his line. Each day he would smile as he, Annie and Clarabelle sang little songs. However, there was one place Thomas didn't like visiting at all: the lead mines. It seemed like it was cut off from the rest of the world. The workers were usually too busy to be good company, and even though Thomas and his crew would be the only ones there, he felt like someone, something, was there with them. "I don't like it one bit," Thomas grumbled to Henry at the junction. "It's dark, it's unnerving, and it feels very isolated." "Sounds to me like you're afraid of the dirt more than anything," scoffed Henry. "All this ghost nonsense seems just an excuse to slack off." Well, I suppose it's a better excuse than the rain," fumed Thomas. Before Henry could reply, Thomas puffed away, leaving him very cross at the platform. Later, Thomas was making his way back to the lead mines. "Do we have to go?" he asked his driver. "Sorry, old boy, it's the fact controller's orders," said his driver. Thomas arrived and soon set to work. All day he was on edge. He couldn't shake the feeling like he was being watched. He was glad when it was time to leave. "Just shunt those trucks behind you and you're home," said a worker. Thomas did so, but was so eager to get the job done quickly and get home, he bumped the trucks too hard. The truck rolled into another, too fast and too hard. With a crash, the trucks came off the rails, blocking the points behind Thomas. "You silly engine," shouted the worker. Thomas felt embarrassed. They telephoned and came back with bad news. "The cranes are being used elsewhere. We won't be able to clear this mess until the morning, so you'll have to stay here overnight." Thomas's face went pale. I can't stay here. The ghost will get me." His driver laughed. "There's no such thing as ghosts. We've told you this before. We'll be back in the morning. It'll be over before you know it." Thomas wasn't convinced. Night came. Thomas couldn't relax. His eyes darted around. Every noise and everything Thomas thought he saw made him jump. Suddenly, he heard a long, loud yawn. Thomas froze. He looked slowly over to a mine shaft that had a smaller set of rails going into it. Before Thomas could think of anything else, there was another loud and long yawn. Thomas was more curious now than anything. That didn't sound like a ghost. He took a deep breath and said, "Hello?" A noise of curiosity echoed from the mine. "Oh, hello," came a voice. Thomas was surprised. "Hello," he stammered again, a bit more confident. "You're that Timmy engine, aren't you?" "Thomas, yes. Excuse me for asking, but are you a ghost?" The voice laughed long and loud. Thomas nearly started laughing too, although he didn't know what was so funny. "I'm far from it, lad. I'm an engine, just like you." Thomas gasped. "I didn't know there was other engines here. What are you doing in there?" The engine sighed. "Well, when this mine was given standard gauge tracks, there was no need for me and my narrow gauge friends anymore, so they put me in here so I wouldn't be scrapped." He paused, as if remembering. "But that was a long time ago now." Thomas couldn't see the old engine, but he could tell he was sad. If this place felt like it was cut off from the rest of the world, then this engine must have been one of the loneliest Thomas had ever met. "Why don't you tell me about the olden days? I won't be going anywhere till morning. Unless you want to sleep, of course." No fear of that. I don't work day shifts. My sleep schedule is awful. I fall asleep in the mornings and wake up in the evenings, so there's no fear of me falling asleep at the moment." Thomas chuckled. Well, let's see, the engine began. I arrived here sometime during the summer of... Oh, what year was it? Aha, I remember. It was good old like that he surged through the Thomas and the engine kept chatting and chatting until the sun came up. Thomas enjoyed the engine's stories, and the engine enjoyed telling them to him. Soon Thomas's crew and the workers came back, as well as Edward with the cranes. Thomas was glad. So, began his driver, did the ghost pay you a visit? Thomas smiled. Oh no, I actually enjoyed my time here. See, I told you there was nothing to worry about, said his driver triumphantly, and went to talk to one of the workers while waiting for the trucks to be re-railed. Soon, Edward and the cranes had put things right, and Thomas was getting ready to leave. Oh, I never asked you your name, he called, looking at the dark mine shaft. No reply came. Oh, chuckled Thomas. Doesn't work day shifts. Edward grinned, giving Thomas a knowing look, sitting in there all those years and still telling stories. Thomas was surprised. Do you know him? Oh yes, I was with him when his driver decided to hide him, but we'll keep it our little secret. He chuckled and winked at Thomas. Thomas smiled and wholeheartedly agreed. I know one thing I can't keep secret though, he said. I'm not afraid of this mine anymore. Edward smiled as Thomas whistled and puffed happily away. Edward looked at the old mine shaft. He knew that the engine was asleep, but he couldn't help but whisper, "Thank you." And with that, Edward whistled and puffed away.